Welcome to August 2026 Astrology Update and Energy Report. We will be sharing three different perspectives on the themes for the month, what you can expect, and what to watch out for. So, kicking things off, Corey, what is the biggest theme astrology-wise for August that people really need to pay attention to?
Well, it's eclipse season. So we have a solar eclipse in Leo for August, and that's going to be on the 12th. And we have a full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces, and that's on the 28th. And that means endings and beginnings. So it's big energy, and whether you like it or not, what isn't meant for you is going to end, but we have great beginnings. We're really walking into the door of new beginnings.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Peyton, how about you? What are some big themes that you're getting from the Pleiadians?
Thanks, Yaila. Yeah, that is so exciting. Beginnings are always wonderful. Hey, y'all, I'm Peyton, and I'm a Pleiadian channel. And so when I asked the Pleiadians what the biggest thing we want to be expecting in August, what they told us is things are going to start to get easier. For a lot of us, the past 6 months have been kind of choppy, and especially so many of us have had issues with the body over the past 6 months, just having fits with our health. And so what the P's wanted us to know for August is it's going to get a little easier. Some of those really intense energies are going to lighten up. Things are going to get more clear, a little more peaceful. So we've got a little bit of an opportunity to relax a little in August, to breathe a little. So that's what the Pleiadians were kind of highlighting for August. Yaila, like what about you? When you scan the collective, what pops up for the August energies?
Yeah, it's funny with what you both shared because one of the biggest themes that I got for August for the collective was hard goodbyes and drawing a line in the sand for what you're a stand for and what you're not a stand for, and really using that throat chakra. So I love that the energies are going to be nicer for us. That sounds way more exciting when we're dealing with these. But something as far as a big theme is hard goodbyes, and maybe you were shown in the last, month or so kind of where those boundaries needed to be put, those lines in the sand needed to be drawn, and now you're having to say fully yes to it, fully no to it, and there's going to be some hard goodbyes this month, unfortunately. But fortunately, because it's better for everybody in the long run of being authentic and truthful.
Yeah, well, the authenticity definitely, because we have that new moon in Leo with that solar eclipse. And yes, Leo is, I have my Leo hair today. Do you like that?
Love it.
Um,
Rawr.
I brought my Leo hair. And that's the authenticity, right? So,
And I love that you guys said that because authenticity has been a theme of ours for the past 2 or 3 months, right? It keeps coming through in the energies. And the Pleiadians have been saying it's going to be the currency going forward. Anything that's not authentic, not, as Corey likes to say, not in integrity, right? Anything that's not lining up is going to start to crumble. And so it's going to be easier to be ourselves in these energies. A lot of us have had a little trouble with that blocked throat chakra, but it's going to start to feel natural to be authentic. It's going to feel like we're coming home the way we should be. So, yeah, I love that you guys hit on authenticity. I think that's going to be a theme moving forward for sure.
Yeah. What about what to watch out for, or, and whoever wants to go first, is there anything to really be mindful of for the month of August, whether it comes from the Pleiadians and astrology? What's something to keep an eye out?
well, I think it's, to watch out and holding on to what no longer serves us. We've been talking a lot about being in your heart, coming from your heart, and healing the heart and feeling everything from the heart. And Leo is the heart. So watch out for the mind, the mind going, woo, and not allowing flow. Just things are going to go as they're supposed to. So just watch out for just holding on tight because the second half of August is going to be in Virgo season. which can hold on a bit because it's the organizer. And it's great, it's Earth, so that's good. But we want to watch out for criticism this month and um, holding on too tight for the things that need to be let go of.
Mm. How about you, Peyton? Anything coming to mind?
Yeah, I totally agree with what Corey just said. And one of the things that the Pleiadians have been kind of cautioning us about, and they brought this in very strongly for August, is to encourage us to be very kind of aware of our stories. What is the story we're telling ourselves about every little topic in our life? If we're trying to create relationships, what's the story we're telling ourselves? Are we saying we want a relationship? But in our mind, we're like, nobody loves me, no one pays attention to me, I can't find anybody. The story that we're telling is what's going to create our reality. And since Yaila, you brought up that great point about, hard endings, anything that's not in alignment with what we are saying, we're going to get a fast reflection in these energies. We don't have that 6 months or a year to adjust our energy. The energies are coming hard and fast. So we're going to get a reflection of the story we're telling. So just being careful of kind of where your mind is going, which I love what Corey just said, get in your heart. It's a shortcut to success.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm actually getting a similar thing to watch out for, something that's been popping up for the collective, and it ties into what both of you were saying, but relationships. There's a lot of relationship kind of turbulence going on for people, and they're at this cusp of, do we stay and make things work out? Do we try something different? And being in that authentic place is going to align you to what is truly in your heart's desire, in alignment for you. And that's where some of those hard goodbyes are coming from, but be mindful of some people who aren't looking within and looking at their own answers and listening to their own intuition, their own discernment. They're going to be a little swirly and chaotic out there, meaning they might try and pull you into their chaos. So, I'm kind of seeing married people kind of looking outside of their relationships for some type of validation, excitement, other, or kind of trying to see if the grass is really green on the other side. Single people are also looking at, maybe dating all different types of people, who knows, but just looking more at what's in your own internal field, and really looking at what you truly need, and watching out for people who are trying to pull in that energy from outside of themselves to get those answers.
That's a great point. And I think authenticity is a big part of that equation, right? We're starting to get clearer on what we actually want, which
Mhm.
means if we've been hanging on to relationships that don't fit us anymore, we're
Yeah.
not a match, or we're holding on to jobs or businesses, seeing a lot of this change, like you were mentioning, Yaila, in the jobs, in our work, in our careers, our businesses. If it's not a match to our consciousness level right now, as the Pleiadians love to say, it's got to go.
And you know what? And we've talked about for quite some time about the inner work, doing the inner work. And so it's also the relationship with yourself.
Yeah.
What kind of relationship do you have with yourself? Like you ladies were talking about, how we talk to ourselves. Thoughts become things. We are now in air energy and fire energy. Air is the thoughts, and fire is that output energy. So the relationship with ourselves has to be kind as well.
Yeah.
Not talking to ourselves negatively or being critical. So it's the outside relationships, but it does start from within. It really does.
Yeah. And Corey, I'm being guided to ask you about the nodes, because I feel like that's also an important thing to be chatting about for August.
Yeah. So the nodes are well, we all have our individual nodes, but it's the collective destiny and where we are headed as a collective in the north node, and then the south node is the karmic releasing. So interestingly enough, um, the south node is in Leo. So if it's not authentic, if your ego flares up, those are the things that we're looking at clearing. If you are a leader, it's a great time to be a leader. actually, from the heart. If you're coming from the ego, it's not going to serve. These are the karmic lessons that we're releasing right now as a collective. The North Node is in Aquarius, and Yaila is our token Aquarian. Yes. And so, but that's our collective destiny. What is it that we're going to evolve to as a collective? And that is technology. You know, AI is the topic lately, decentralized. Aquarius is outside the box, the outside the box genius energy and innovation, but also humanitarianism, you know, a community mindset. So if you're in a community that isn't serving you, it means you've got a new one coming. So it's about um, uh, power to the people and being together as a collective instead of just being about me. So it's me, Leo, I the actor, who's brilliantly creative, versus the we. We're moving into that we. And that was one of the things that us ladies decided that was the deciding factor for us to get together and be a we was these days right here. So yeah, so the nodes are really important. They are. They affect, they hit us on a soul level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about any last words of wisdom, any, information coming in that the collective, those tuning into our video can benefit from? Any last little messages you want to share? How about you, Payne?
Oh, well, I think one thing that the Pleiadians have been, to tie into what Corey just said, wanting to bring our attention to, and they never say this from a position of fear, but when they start to repeat themselves, I know that they're really serious about a topic, and that is to encourage us to be super careful with technology. Corey mentioned the energy around AI right now, but the Pleiadians have been saying that it's very important for humans to be careful with how we are using technology because it does lead to some challenging timelines. So, are you becoming dependent on technology? Are you turning over your decision making to technology? We're seeing that everywhere. They want us to be very, very careful about that. So, yeah, that's one thing that they bring up with me a lot that it's good for me to kind of toss out for everyone else to kind of think about a little bit.
Yeah. And it's funny because hearing both of you chat, what I keep hearing is stop outsourcing your power, and that's been something that the three of us have shared for years now. But I feel like with the introduction, with more AI use and just these intense energies that we've been through, not outsourcing your power to anything outside of you. No person, place, or thing has more of your, sovereignty and your true essence, your true power than yourself. So learning how to, connect within your own being is really, really key right now. Corey, how about you? Any last messages that you want to share with the group?
Well, it's really about, there'll be a lot of things going on the outer collective plane, but it can be a wonderful time to go within or to really just uh, be creative and not go into the chaos or the drama because Leo can be very big energy and its high point is very creative and loves the family and pride. So remember, I always say, be in the love vibration. If you are in the love vibration and come from your heart, you can't go wrong. Your heart never lies to you. So pay attention to it and nurture yourself. It's a month to nurture yourself.
Beautiful. And the last messages that my guides wanted me to share for you today is don't be afraid of change and speaking your truth. Because your truth shall set you free, so they say. So, change can be scary. It can bring up, what is life going to look like? What's it going to be like? But when you share from your truth, you'll be okay. And don't be afraid to fully embody everything that you want to. So if your heart is saying, no, I want to stay and make this work out, don't be afraid to fully show up and do that too. So it's not always having to have those hard goodbyes, but sometimes it's a goodbye to just the old toxic ways of showing up that we were trained to do. And sometimes the new way of stepping in is really doing the inner work and looking at where did these thoughts and feelings come from. So don't be afraid to share your truth is the final message I have. Ladies,
I love that, Yaila. I love that. Yeah.
thank you.
Yep.
Any last things, ladies, before we all right. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. We did try a slightly different style this month, so let us know if you liked this conversation flow and getting some of our personal insights and feedback for you. Of course, we would love to hear what resonated with you. So if there's anything that stood out from today's message, please let us know. We are sending you so much love. Thank you for all the likes, the shares, the comments. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next month. Bye.